And good morning, everyone. It's Angela Atkins again here with Straight Talk Saturday. And I just want to welcome you, whether you're coming here to see me live or if after the fact you're watching the recording. I want to have you welcomed and feel that this is a space where you can learn something about creating a healthy body, a healthy mind, and living the life you want. Isn't that really what it's all about? Don't we want to live life on our own terms in the way that gives us the most out of life? We want life to give us happiness, health, feel safe, all those things that bring us good feelings, that bring about joy in our life, that bring us positive responses. And the way to do that is to create them ourselves. It's really not up to anybody else to give us our life. We have to go out and take the life we want. And in order to do that, we need to be in the right mindset. Good morning, Bruce. Glad to have you here with me. Talking today about what I'm terming Mindstyle. I'll be honest with you, another coach offered this term to me, and I thought, this is really interesting. Mindstyle. What is it? Mindstyle is when you want to create something, you need to have the right mindset. So it's combining the positive mindset with a healthy lifestyle to bring you about what you want in your life. Good morning, Cindy. I'm so happy to see you. I hope all is going well. One of the facts I wanted to tell you is that the average life expectancy in the United States is now 80 years old. And that's pretty phenomenal. But when you talk about averages, of course, there's many people above and many people below that. But I think we all want more. We all want to live as much as we can in the best quality of life that we can. And in order to do that, we have to take the responsibility for getting what we want out of life. And so one of the biggest challenges I think that is in this world today is that we see things and we don't know how to make the right choice, or we go about making choices based on other things outside of ourselves. So what I'm asking is to take this in what I'm saying and make it for you. I know how things work for me, and that's how I live my life. But for you, you need to make lifestyle choices that make a difference to bring about that happiness, being healthy, feeling safe, all those things that are going to make your life much more worth living. And in order to do that, you need to adopt these in a way that they become habits. Now, it used to be people say, oh, you can develop a habit in 3 weeks. But studies have proven, most recent studies have proven, it takes 66 days to develop a habit. In order to develop that habit, you have to do it consistently. So that means every single day you put that into practice until it becomes a part of your lifestyle. Now, combining that habit with the right mindset will create your mind style. And that's what I'm talking about today. What are those things that we can develop into habits that create a better mind style for us? So I've got a list of things that I want to help you understand what it is you can do for yourself to get you to the right mind style. And I want to make certain that everyone understands that it doesn't matter where you are today, you can always make the choice to change. Change is always up to you. It's not up to someone else. You have control of your own life. So to make a positive lifestyle change at any point in your life, it is about changing your mindset. So one of the first things I want to offer you is we live in this very busy world. All of us have many things to do. You get up on Saturday, like I do, to listen to me talk about straight talk. So what you're doing is you're creating a practice where you're getting information to help you create this healthy mind style. So you've developed your first habit if you're joining me regularly, the same way as I've developed this habit of offering you this, because it is my choice to bring this information to as many people that are willing to listen, because my mission in life is to help people create better lifestyles, to create better ways of being, and that we have a healthier community, a healthier nation, and by and large, a healthier world. And to do that, we all need to have this mindset, lifestyle change into a mind style. So one of the first things you can do is self-care. I tell this to my clients all the time, that self-care is not selfish, it's self-respect. We need to provide care for ourselves in order for us to be able to care for someone else. And even if you don't care, meaning that you're not a nurturer, either you're not a parent or a caregiver in some way, excuse me, there are ways that we do care for others in the world, whether it's a coworker, a friend, anyone in the world. There is caring going on in your life, or at least I hope there is caring going on in your life. But if you feel that you're lacking something, that you're not giving yourself enough self-care, then you don't really have enough to give to someone else. Although you think you do, after a while what you do is you come back and you say, wow, I'm spent. I've given it all out to everybody else and there's nothing left for me. What I'm asking is to reverse that mindset and say, let me start with me, fill myself up with what I need, give myself an abundance of care, whether that's just simply taking some downtime or giving yourself a special treat. And I'm not talking about food kind of treat. I'm talking about something that's relaxing, rejuvenating. If you get a massage, if you go for a walk in the park, gardening, anything that's going to bring you in contact with something that fills you up with a sense of relaxation, with a sense of joy, with a sense of purpose. All these things will give you self-care. And that's really important. In this world where we're trying to do everything for everybody else, take time for yourself. That's going to be the first and most important thing you can do. And when you value self-care, when you find those moments, whether it's in prayer, meditation, or just a quiet moment before meals, what you're going to find is that that space for a loving just outreach to other people grows. You're going to have more to offer, and that more is actually going to fill you up again. So the more you have for yourself and you give, the more you actually receive in return, because it's that process in life. It is just a wonderful process that just fills you up, and you can use it every single day of your life to give yourself more. Take 5 minutes every day to give yourself some kind of self-care. And then other days you may need more than that. You may need an hour here. You may need a retreat on a weekend just to give you whatever you need. But start with self-care. And having self-care, you'll want to do other things. And so some of the things to do that are going to create this mind style are to create healthy habits. Now, there are things out there that we already know. You need to make good choices. And those choices are out there that we know all along. You need to stop smoking because we know the effects of smoking. That's just a good, healthy choice. That's going to help your body physically, but over the long term, it's going to help you mentally because you have broken an addiction and you know you can do so many more things when you can do something as difficult as that. You can reduce alcohol. Now, many people say, a little bit of alcohol is good for you, wine or something else. But a little bit is a lot different than excessive amounts. More is not good when it comes to alcohol because it can too be a drug. So look at that as something, is that part of my life? Am I not giving myself a good choice in the way I treat my body with either cigarettes or other smoking materials or alcohol or even drugs? And that can be prescription or not. You can treat your body naturally and get the health you need without all these artificial stimulants. They're all stimulating your body in some way. So make it better choice, treat your body better, And it's going to help build that mind style that I am worth so much more than giving myself something that's going to bring harm or take away a part of my life that I really want. If we want to live past 80, and I believe we can live it in a healthy fashion. I hear so many people, especially people my age. I've received an email from a high school friend about they all want to get together, not really a reunion, but let's talk about things. And I hear things like, oh, well, I'm getting to that age where I'm just going to get old and sick and die. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm just not there. I'm not ready for that. I have so much more life ahead of me. And I think it's because my mind style is different. They have had the work a day, the do everything for everybody else, and not fill themselves up. And so they're not getting that return, that benefit for them. And the simple things you do, whether it's some sort of self-care or some of these other tips that I'm going to offer you, it really creates a different way of thinking about your life. I have said since I've gotten return from my own health, back in my 50s, I was so ill. I had fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, so many other symptoms that I was just not living my life. And when I learned how to turn my life around, it really was that light bulb going off in my head that said, hey, if you don't change these habits, you're not going to get to the next phase of your life. And here I am, I'm in my 60s, and I find myself just reveling in life, having the best time of my life, because I now understand it is up to me to make those choices. And so I have chosen self-care. I have chosen the optimal ways to do things for my body. And so some of the things that I realized that are so simple and you don't really need to do much to make life better are things I'm going to offer you right now. Let me just take a moment and say welcome to Bruce and Susan. I'm glad you've joined me. Please, if you know anyone that they're at a point in their life, they're just not feeling their best self, share this with them. They're little things to help make your life better, help you live longer in a healthy, happy, and safe way. And that way they can benefit the way I feel I've benefited. And I hope you adopt some of these and you find ways of incorporating them into your life. So one of the simplest things you can do, we are with people usually every day. There are things we have to do. The simple act of kindness, being nice to someone, does so much more for ourselves because that kindness translates into what they can do too. They see that act of kindness, they see being nice as something maybe they don't normally get, and it's returned to you, and it's returned to others. Have you ever been in a line of traffic and you, being the nice person, back off, let the person in the traffic, and then you notice a little bit later down in the road, that person backs off, lets the next person in line? You may think, oh shoot, now I'm 2 cars behind. But what you've done is created a different mindset. Everyone now is creating that atmosphere of giving space, helping others. It's not so much that you have to be there first. You're not going to be any later just by 2 cars being ahead of you. But we need to get out of that rush, rush, rush mentality and think, what's the best thing for right now? Right now, just be nice, be kind. Acts of kindness really carry further than just that one moment. We may not always see it, but many times they're there, and we just have to accept that we can be the start. You can build on one act of kindness. So another thing that I think is really important, and I know if I don't do this every single day, my life seems a little bit less, is laugh. Whatever it is, whatever makes you laugh. I am very fortunate. My husband makes me laugh nearly every day. He finds something, his humor is totally different than mine. And over the years, I've learned that I really value his humor. It can just hit me right out of the blue and I just crack up laughing. That just sends so much goodness through my body that it makes my day better. And hopefully I make somebody else's day better. And if you can't find something to laugh with the people around you, find things that make you laugh. Whether it's reading a funny thing or watching something, a sitcom that you need a good chuckle from. Laughing really helps our body, helps our minds. It creates a new mind style for us because we're feeling those good feelings, those endorphins rushing in our mind, in our brain, and in our body. And that's really a great thing to happen. Good morning, Tom. Glad to have you back. So another thing I suggest is find ways of communicating with everyone that you communicate with, where you argue less and you agree more. Even if the person is contentious that you're talking to, find something to agree with them. It changes the discussion. It changes the conversation to the point that it's less argumentative and more collaborative. And we do this, we talk usually every day to someone. And if you've got that person who you're constantly, butting heads with, you be the one, you make the change, because remember, it's up to you to change your mind style. And to do that, you need to go in and say, hey, it's a really great day. And if they're, not positive about it, then you find something else. Hey, I really like that tie you're wearing, or whatever it is. Find something that you can hone in on. Be nice, play the nice, fair game, even if they're not, and find a way to stop arguing, because arguing just sets us in a different path, changes our mindset, really brings that happiness meter down. And we really want to stay in a more of a balance and just keep picking that happy meter up. So towards the rest of the day, you feel like giving more back to somebody else. Plus, I've said it before in other straight talk, if you've got junk people around you that constantly bring you down, maybe you need to stop associating with them if you can. But if you can't, try to be the one that offers the positivity, that offers the good, kind thought, and doesn't argue, but finds a way to offer a bit of kindness, to offer a compliment, to offer something that's going to bring them up. But have them bring them up to your level. Please don't go down to their level. That just brings your mind style down. So another one of those things is that you can choose to make positive changes at any time in your life. And the simplest thing, and we talk about this all the time because this is my focus, is how you feed yourself. And it's not just food, it's everything that you use to nourish yourself. Food and drink and other things that you may take in your body or on your body. If you make the best choices, your body is going to respond in kind. And they're simple choices. I've had so many people say to me, I don't cook. I don't know how to cook. I don't want to cook, whatever it is. And I'm thinking, why? And most of it is an education thing. They've never been taught to cook. They feel lack of confidence. And it's very simple. You can make any simple meal in about 15 minutes. You take a lean protein, a vegetable of some sort, and complement that with fats, and you put it together in a simple fashion. It's not about making a fancy dish. It's not about being the best cook that anybody ever saw. It's about making food that nourishes you. So you take a simple piece of meat and you maybe saute it or bake it or whatever you do with it. Recipes are everywhere. You just do it simply, a little salt and pepper. You take vegetables. Maybe for me, I might steam some green beans. I have, pats of butter on it. If you want a side of something like a baked potato, it takes 15 minutes. Get it all together. Be done with it. And that's your meal that nourishes you. Don't dwell on what you cannot do. If you say, I can't cook, your mind's going to say, I can't cook, I can't do this. Change that mind style. Say, hey, I'm going to start something simple. I'm going to go out. I'm going to search on the internet because everything's there. And I'm going to say 15-minute meals. And you're going to come back with some very simple things. That's so easy to do. And it's one way you change your mind style, because now you're feeding yourself. You're not relying on something else or someone else or a company or a fast food or anything else. You're relying on you. That brings you up. It fills you up. I have accomplished this. In 15 minutes, I've made myself nourishment that's going to fuel me for the day. That's a very positive thing. And it will, over time, not only nourish your body, but nourish your mind, because you're eating well, You're boosting your brain cells by getting good nourishment, and you're feeling accomplished, because if you never cooked before and now you are, that's a big deal. That is a huge deal. And I have clients all the time that say to me, oh, I've just never cooked. And by the time we're done with our program, they're cooking. They're cooking well. They may have started out with simple meals, but now they feel adventuresome. They feel that they have really gotten those skills. They've figured it out. And that's really all it's about. It's figuring it out for yourself. And it starts simply. Start wherever you are. Whether you've ever done it before, whether you're afraid of it, just step out once and try it, and then build on it to make a habit, because those habits are going to become your mind style. Now, another thing I want you to do, and we hear it, and it's a cliche, but it's true. We have to work. For most of us, we have to find things that, support our family, support ourselves. So work smarter, not harder. Don't give your life over to a job. I mean, like myself, this is what I do. This is my living. So instead of working at such a breakneck pace, I know what I need to do when I need to do it. I may need to map it out and say, I do it in chunks, or I put it on a calendar, but I leave time for me. I leave time for self-care. I leave time for my family. I leave time to be with my grandchildren. All of these things are important in my life. And if I sacrifice any of them, they're going to make my life feel less. And that's what we don't want. We don't want to feel less. We want to feel full. And that's part of the self-care. So if you're working, find ways that make you use your hours purposefully, not just busy work. If you have tasks to do, find a way to do those tasks that get to the end point in the way that makes you work efficiently. Or maybe you need to share the task with someone. Feel like you can just be collaborative on everything, because more hands and more minds doing a simple task, or even a difficult task, actually a difficult task you need more minds on, makes it easier. And so why work so hard? Why make it so difficult on yourself? Work smart, less hard, fill yourself up. Join with other people to make life more filling. That will bring you happiness when things feel like you're filled up. So another one of these things, as I said in this one, if you're working with other people. They may not be all the people that you want to connect with. So you want to stay connected with the people that you love and who love you. It's really important, because that connection really feels a part of our soul. And soul for me is that spiritual side of ourselves. No matter what you believe, we have a spiritual component. We are part of a spiritual world. And we need to fill our soul with the love, with that connectedness with other people. And so many of us get isolated or insulated. We do it ourselves because we're so busy doing something else, or we feel less than in some way, and so we don't want to share that with other people. Instead, the people that we love want to love us back. Let them in, stay connected, feel full of their love, and it will give you that cycle again where you have more love to give back. So staying connected is really important in our lives. And the one simple thing we can do is just be gentle with ourselves. We don't have to do it all. Just make it a habit to calmly do what we need to do. And we all make mistakes. I do it all the time, and you're like, oh, shoot, I did that again. Instead of that, say, an opportunity to learn. Why am I doing this again? Let me think. Did I not learn these steps correctly? Or is there something that I need that will help me do this right the next time? Maybe you're tired. Stop what you're doing, get rest, do it the next time when you're rested. Maybe you're hungry and your brain's not focusing on things. Okay, go get something to eat. Be gentle with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You want to make this a habit, because we are so self-critical. When we're self-critical, we're critical of everybody else, because we're now angry at ourselves, so we're angry at the world. Stop. Be nice to yourself. I already told you, let's be nice to everybody else. Be nice to yourself. Be gentle. Make it a habit to give yourself the space to learn, to grow, to make mistakes, because that's how we learn. We don't do everything right the first time. The first time an infant gets up and walks, it doesn't walk, just get up and walk. It falls down, it cries. The poor little thing, mommy will come over and say, it's okay, honey, let's try it again, or here, let me help you. That's what we do. When we fall in whatever, maybe there's somebody in your life that can help you say, it's okay, honey, let's try again. Because that's what we need. That connectedness with people we love, who'll help us over those hurdles that we have. Then we just need to accept it and be gentle with ourselves. And so the last thing I'm going to offer you is a very simple one. And I don't know how many of us forget this, but this is something I want you to share with everyone. If nothing else, every day, stop and be conscious of breathing. And you say, what? We breathe without thinking. Our body is programmed to breathe until we stop, our heart stops beating, or something dramatic happens to us that stops our breathing. So unconscious breathing is not getting you in the right mindset. When you consciously breathe, it slows you down. It helps you focus on your inner self, because you're actually thinking about how your body's working when you're breathing. So take that moment, slow down, and breathe. It is one of the best ways to reduce your stress. So in all these other things, if you get confronted by someone that causes stress, or something happens that causes you stress, or any other number of things that keep you unaware of how to stay happy, healthy, and safe, take a day or take every day to breathe. So you stop, even if it's just for 5 minutes, even if it's just for 5 breaths, stop, breathe. Be intentional about it. That can be your moment of mindfulness, your moment of meditation. It doesn't have to be an hour, sitting in a lotus position. It can be simply 5 deep breaths that you take in on a count of 5, hold it for a count of 5, and release it for a count of 5. If you do that consciously, you're not going to be able to sustain that stress. And if the stress comes back, do it again. And so I enjoin you, please be kind to yourself. Find a new mind style. Develop lifetime habits. Take these little things, create a lifestyle where you're eating well, you're living well, you're engaging with people to the fullest ability that you can in the kindest, gentlest manner, both to yourself and to them. And then breathe. And if you want to talk to me about it, if you really feel like you haven't got this all, or you really don't know how to incorporate it in your life, then I'm going to encourage you, contact me. I am happy to speak with you. It is my mission in life to help people build better lives, to live the life they truly want. And as I always say, I want you to live full out. Please go live full out and do it kindly and gently with yourself. I'm going to put a link in the chat box for you all if you want to contact me. I'm happy to speak with everyone. And please, if you know anyone who has a need to live a better life, in the sense that they're not living full out, they're not living for themselves, share this with them. Share the video on your timeline so people can see that you're ready to have a new mind style. You're ready to live life full out. And I encourage you to do that starting today. Don't wait for Monday or after the beginning of the year or some other time that you start today. Start right now where you are. Pick one thing you can do. Is that one thing being nice to the next person? Is that one thing being nice to yourself? Whatever that one thing is, do it today. And until I see you next time, be well.